Hello, Yumit. You're welcome to my class on how to draft your basic bodies. So now, to get your basic bodies, you're first going to create a box where you're going to be drafting in your pattern. So I'll be using this part for my front bodies, and this side I'll be using it for the back bodies. How can you do that? It's very easy. You can decide to take what the highest number of your body, which is the bust area, divide it by 4, and then add extra 3 to 2 inches that you might need for allowance. That is if you want to put the side allowance on your pattern, or you can decide to say, okay, I'm going to be adding it later on my fabric. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is to get your armhole line. And how do you get your armhole line? Here is the formula: your bust measurement, okay, divided by 6 plus 2.5. Whatever it gives you is your answer. So for me, my bust measurement is 34. So I will divide 34 divided by 6 plus 2.5. Okay, we good? Yeah, so mine is 8.1. So I just go ahead and mark that like so. So connect the lines together. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to do is your waist measurement. After you must have taken your waist measurement on your body. And how can you get your waist measurement? You measure from the shoulder to the parts where there is no bone on the waistline of your client. Okay. You can tie a rope around that part to get the perfect waistline. So mine is 17. So I'll go ahead and connect that together as well. So the next thing we want to do now is to plot our armhole. So my armhole, which is my shoulder measurement, is 7. Okay. I'm just going to mark 7 here on my shoulder and then mark another 7 on the armhole line. Alright. So I'll connect this line together like so. Okay. So the next thing I want to do now is to mark my shoulder slope, which is 1.5. Okay. So my neckline is 3 by 3. So now this is a standard, okay? So I'm going to be using my ruler to connect my neckline together, like so. So the next thing we are going to do is connect our shoulder slope to our neckline. If you are following. Alright, so now the next thing we want to do now is to get our armhole curve. Okay, so how do we do that? You're going to come to your shoulder and divide what you have on your shoulder by 2. Okay, so just mark that, whatever it gives you. Then you go in by half. Then I'm going to be connecting this half to my shoulders slope, and then my bust measurement is the next thing I'm going to be doing. So my bust divided by 4 is 8.5. So I mark my 8.5. So now this remaining part of my armhole, I'm going to be connecting it to my 8.5. See how slopey I'm positioning my curve. So after doing this, the next thing I'm going to be adding is my waist measurement. My waist measurement divided by 4 is 6.5. So I can decide to just stop this if I don't want to add that to it. But I'm going to be adding that. So I'm going to be going out by, I'm going to be adding 1 inch. There are different kind of that you can do. If you want it to be really copy and you're making for someone that is busty, just go ahead and add 2 inch for your dart. Okay, so I'm going to explain why. Reason because if you use 2 inch for your dart, especially if you are working with, you know, a corporate dress and there's no princess cut or anything. So you are going to be using 2 inch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go out and mark my dart line. So my dart line is 3.5. So I'm marking it here. So now the next thing we want to get now is our nipple point. Our nipple point is very easy. I'll just go down from my armhole line by 1.5. So if your client's bust is from 40 upward and it's quite bossy, just go down by 2 inch. Okay, so now this is my nipple point. I'm just going to match the line together. After doing this, I'm going to mark my dart line, which is our cross bust, which is our nip to nip. Okay, so connect it with the waistline. Okay, so this is where our dart is going to be stopping. So now imagine if what I added for my dart was 1 inch, I'm going to share equal half to half inch. Okay, and connect it to my nipple point. But because I added 2 inch, I'm going to mark 1 on both sides. So by the time I pick it, it gives more room for the bust. Okay, so now before I connect this, I'm going to go down from my nipple point by 1 inch. Okay, then I'll just connect it. Mind you, this 1 inch I'm using is not a standard. Like I said, you can decide to use half inch or whatever number you want to use. Okay, so now we are done drafting the front pattern. Okay, so now let's move on to drafting the back pattern. So the back pattern is very easy. All you just need to do is to replicate, add back your armhole line to the back area. Okay, so for the front, remember we use 8.1 for our armhole, and then for our back waist, I'm not going to be using 17. I'm going to be using 15 for myself. Okay, so that is -2. My back is shorter than my front. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting the armhole line together, and then of course marking my waistline together for the back. Okay, after doing this, I'm going to replicate our shoulder, 7 here, 7 here. Shoulder slope for the back is 1 inch, and the width remains 3. Okay, and then the depth 1. Mind you, this neck width and measurements are not constant. Okay, you can decide to use any neck depth and width depending on the style you are trying to create and trying to achieve at the time. Remember, we are supposed to connect our 7 inch here and 7 inch here together. So we are going to be doing that now. So after doing that, the next thing we are going to be doing is to get our armhole. Okay, remember what we used for the front? We used 3.5. So from now we are going to mark your 3.5 up. So this is just to give us a guide. Okay, so after marking that, I'm going to be adding my bust measurement. Okay, which is 8.5 there. And then for the back, I will not be adding 2 inch for my dart. I'm just going to be adding 1. So this is my 6.5 plus 1. Because there's no boobs at the back, so I'll maintain my 1 inch for my dart. Okay, so I just connect this together. And then from here, I'm going to connect my armhole to meet, that point. Okay, now that's that for the back. So the next thing we are going to do for the back is to add our dart line like we did for the front. So 3.1 here. Remember to go down by 1 when you want to connect it. Then open up by half. Okay, the allowance we added for the back is just half 1 inch. So we are going to be sharing into a chord which is half. Okay, there you go. So the next thing we want to do now is to contour our shoulder slope for the back. This will eliminate any bulginess for our zipper. So I'm just going to take out 1 inch. So this 1 inch I'm taking out, I'm going to return it back to the side back, then connect it back to my armhole like that. So now connect my shoulder slope to the neck. Okay, this way we have eliminated any excess that we're going to be having here. Okay, so you can still go ahead and take out for the down part depending on how deep the person back is. You can go as high as 1 and then slope it to the waistline. So this way, when you fix your zip, it's going to eliminate any bulky or bulginess at the back. So now remember that our waistline for the front and back is not equal. Okay, so for the front is 17 and then for the back is 15. So now we are going to freeze the front pattern so that by the time we finish sewing, we are going to have equal clothing by the side. Okay, so looking at our pattern now, what we have at the back is like 6.75, and then what we have here is almost 9 inch. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to come on our nipple point and then go down by 2. That 2 inches difference on the front and back. And if yours is 3, you can still do 3. Okay, then connect it to my nipple point. So what we are just going to be doing here, the trick is we are going to be freezing here. Okay, freezing it. So when you're cutting your pattern, you have your freeze like this. So now you will notice that this side is not equal. So you just use your ruler, to just blend these parts to be equal. Okay. So now I really hope that this class is helpful. So another thing you can do is you can transfer your dot. And how do you transfer your dot? Is by cutting. Okay. So you move what we have here to this side, and you pick your dart like this side. By the time you pick it, it balances with the front pattern. Or you maintain your front dart. Another way you can do your side, one tricky way you can do it is to eliminate, go up by the side by that 2 inch. Okay. And then connect it to blend in with this outer dart. This way, by the time you sew, pick your dart here, it balances back with the side. I know you like this part because it's quite easy. All right. So, but if you want to do more, you can transfer your dart, transfer it. You can even transfer your darts to the shoulder, depending on what you are trying to achieve. Okay. Thank you for joining in this class. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then also share the link to your friends so they can also learn from this as well. See you in my next class.